Hi, this is Brett Ingram, entrepreneur and award-winning product creator. And today, I want to share with you the 7 customer objections to buying your product and how to overcome them. Now, maybe you have a great product and you're super excited about it. As entrepreneurs, it's pretty normal, it's pretty common. We're passionate about what we're doing. So we create our product or we create our service. We're super excited about it. And then we go to share the offer with the world, whether it is, door-to-door sales, or whether it's an online website, or whether we have a storefront, it doesn't really matter. And we're not so happy about the sales. We don't quite understand why everybody doesn't see what we see. Why aren't they so excited to buy it? I mean, we were so excited to share it. We knew how great it was and it was going to solve all of their problems. And yet for one reason or another, we're disappointed in the sales, or even if it's selling, we can't figure out why there are a number of people that, even though it's perfect for them, don't buy it anyway. And as entrepreneurs, this is a really, really common situation. We're so close to what we're doing. We're so invested in it. We have such passion about it that it's easy to confuse that or feel as though every person we're going to run into is going to have that same level of passion. And the thing of it is, no matter what we're selling and no matter how great it is, there are always going to be some prospects that are interested, but they don't buy. Now, obviously, those are the ones we're talking about. There are going to be some people that just aren't fit, or they're not interested to begin with. It's going to be difficult to convince someone who's completely uninterested in what we have that they should go out and buy it. But there are going to be a lot of people that are interested. So why is it that they're interested? You can see how good the product is. You can see the value of it. You can see what it would do for you. But for one reason or another, they just don't pull the trigger and buy. So why is that? Well, as humans, we all have basic needs and we all have basic drives. And we all obviously, therefore, have problems that we want to solve and things that we feel would make our lives better. So that's just part of the human experience, right? So in general, if we feel that there's a product that can do that for us, then, we would want to buy that product. We would want that because we would want the result that it's going to give us. So if we are the entrepreneur, if we're on the other side of that equation and we're selling the product, and it's a product that's going to solve the problem for a lot of people, why doesn't everyone just buy it? Well, as humans, again, we like to buy, but we don't like to be sold. When you think about somebody trying to sell you something, I'm going to guess that the image in your mind is not flattering, right? We usually feel as though the word pushy is always added when you say the word salesman or salesperson or whatever, because nobody likes to feel that way. There's a reason that car dealerships have gotten a really bad reputation, because over the decades, I went when I was a kid into the car dealership with my dad to get a new car. And I didn't like the experience, and I was a kid, not just because it was boring, but because there's this guy like, and he's trying to sell you on all these benefits of the car. It's a big purchase. So the idea is, obviously, they're going to make a nice commission, and so they want you to buy it. And then there's the whole rigmarole about the negotiation, where they have to go talk to the manager to see if they can get approval. And everybody knows that a lot of that was a bit of a song and dance. And so over the years, through those kinds of interactions, people have become very resistant to the idea of being sold anything. If someone knocks on your door, the irony is door-to-door sales does really, really well if you can get in the door. Because once you're in the door and you have an opportunity to talk to somebody, you have a chance for them to let their guard down and make it more social, make it more casual, develop a bit of a relationship. And through that process, it's easier to make the sale. But it's obviously really difficult to get in the door in the first place, because most people do not want that kind of interaction. They already know that you're going to try to sell something. So in general, they don't want you to even come in, because they know that the odds that they're going to need to buy it, or at least have an uncomfortable conversation where they tell you they don't want to, is going to come next. So we want to know that we're getting value for our money. That's really at the end of the day what it is, right? If we're going to exchange our money, if we're going to give somebody something in exchange for what they have to offer us, then we want to make sure that we're getting the value that we think it's worth, and that whatever the product is that we're buying or the service will help us. And there's a number of reasons for that. I mean, first of all, nobody wants to feel like a fool. And if we buy something and we feel like we got tricked, or that the product isn't good and it can't do, what we had a sneaking suspicion it wouldn't be able to do in the first place, we kind of feel icky. We feel bad about ourselves. We feel bad for falling for the little trap and all those other kinds of things. And so that's the challenge with that, right? And so those are all sort of the human motivational side of things in terms of, the way that we see it as consumers. And so as entrepreneurs, we have to put on the hat of trying to understand that and being able to counteract that, to put people in a position where if we have an honest thing that's going to help them, we want them to take advantage of that. We want them to buy it, and we want them to know that they're going to get value and have confidence in that. So the thing of it is, when somebody decides that they're not going to buy from us, whether it is a verbal reason, a conscious reason, or they just come in our store, wander around, and then walk out, anytime somebody doesn't buy, we basically call that an objection. So in sales, it's very commonly known as an objection. It's a reason somebody doesn't buy from us. I love movies, and in the movie Boiler Room, Ben Affleck plays sort of the sales trainer guy. He's the guy in the stockbroking firm that is talking to all the would-be new recruits. So they have all these recruits in a group in one big room, and it's sort of like a group interview, they call it. Really, it's sort of like a feeling out thing. They're not really interviewing anybody. They're telling everybody what's going to happen, and they're basically saying this is how it works, right? And so the guy says, Ben Affleck says to one of them at one point, a sale is made on every call. Either you sell them some stock, or they sell you on a reason that they don't want to buy it or can't buy it. And so if you look at it in real simple terms like that, that's essentially what objections are. It's somebody saying, I can't buy it, I don't want to buy it, and this is the reason, right? So as entrepreneurs, our job is to overcome that. And we don't want to do it in an adversarial way. We don't want to do it in a way where we feel as though we're sort of like, dragging somebody along to convince them to buy. We want to do it in a way where they feel good about it, we feel good about it, right? So we need to eliminate those objections so more people can buy from us. But you might be thinking, okay, Brett, but how can we possibly know and overcome every objection from every prospect? I mean, we might have millions of prospects. Everyone's an individual. So they're all going to have different objections. There's no way that we could possibly have an answer for every one of them. Well, as it turns out, nearly all objections fall under one of 7 main root or core objections. So if we're able to solve those, we can maximize our sales. And so basically what we want to do is understand what those 7 are, understand where people are coming from if they have those, and then what we can do to overcome them. So let's tackle each one at a time. One of the objections, and by the way, these are in no particular order. It isn't like one is more important than the other or one is more common than the other. Each one is equally important, because if your prospect has any of these objections, they're likely to not buy. So the first one is, you don't understand my problem. At a very basic level, if you're trying to sell something to somebody, again, whether it's your website doing this with products online, whether you're face-to-face with somebody, whether you're on the phone, it doesn't matter. The principle is exactly the same. And the first thing the person on the other side of it is thinking is, you have something to sell me, but you don't understand my problem. Like, I have an issue, I have something that's bothering me, and you don't know what that is. And it's important to understand too that prospects don't always have these fully articulated in this way in their own mind. They may not even recognize it. It's more of a visceral thing for them. It's just a feel that they don't want to buy from you because they don't think it's going to, that you don't understand what their issue is. So to overcome that one, what we want to do is we want to state the problem. And we want to do this right away. So if we're writing sales copy for a web page, or we have a script that we're using on the phone, we want to make sure that we get the problem addressed right out of the gate. Because if we don't get that far, we're not going to be able to get any further. They aren't going to care about some of the other stuff if they don't think that we even understand them, right? So state the problem and do it in a way that the prospect thinks in their own mind, wow, that's exactly how I feel. So it isn't about sort of an intellectual, I'm guessing that you think, it's about getting them into that pain feeling, getting them deep into that problem so they're in that state and making them recognize that you get it, right? So you want to get them to actually feel the pain of whatever that problem is. An awesome example of this that I heard years and years ago, but I never forgot it. And it's actually a headline too, which is amazing because it grabs attention. But aside from that, was the person who was writing for a Hair Club for Men, I think it was, and the headline he came up with, or the identification of the problem, was suffering from hair loss. Boom, right? Can you get any better than that? You're not saying, do you have hair loss, or I suspect that you have a problem with hair loss. Suffering from hair loss, that's the problem, right? If you're somebody that has hair loss, and I do, but I don't actually suffer from it, it doesn't bother me. But for people that it does, that's certainly would grab their attention and let them know he gets it. You know what I mean? She gets it. Wow, I am. Actually, I don't like to go to parties. I don't like to be in social situations. I wear a hat all the time. I am kind of suffering from hair loss. I never even thought of it that way, but yeah, I am. So that's one of the objections, is to make sure that they feel that you understand them and that you get whatever their problem is. So we've got to be able to state that somewhere in the marketing copy or somewhere in the initial interaction to get them to sort of drop their guard a little and at least give us a little more time to talk, a little bit more time to show them what we have to offer. So that helps us get in the door, is, you don't understand my problem. The second objection is, how do I know you're qualified? Okay, so at this point, you basically got them in the sense that you said, all right, I get your problem, right? Suffering from hair loss. But so what? Good for you. You get a gold star. You identified my problem. But how do I know you're qualified to even help me with this, right? As human beings, we're very skeptical of sales pitches, and we're skeptical of claims. So, we've all seen claims that we know are BS. We've all listened to sales pitches that we knew were blatant sales pitches and weren't really rooted in anything that was designed to help us, but actually just to get money out of our wallet. And so because of that, we want proof, right? If we are the customer, if we're the prospect, then we want to know that basically, the person that's talking to us is qualified to be able to help us solve this problem. And so the way that we can do that as the entrepreneur, as the business owner, as the product, seller, is we can offer things like case studies, right? So if we offer a case study of a success, then that shows that we're qualified. We can talk about high profile companies or people that we've done business with. Anyone who's recognizable, they don't need to be a celebrity, but recognizable to the prospect. So if they're in the same industry and we say, well, we worked with XYZ company, or, Joe Glass over here at this particular company is one of our, biggest clients, and it's somebody that they know, that's instant like credibility, right? That's instant, knowing that we're qualified to be able to do it. Another thing is the amount of time that we've been in business, right? So if, you see it all the time on marketing and on labels since 1865, right? Because the idea there is, if we weren't any good, would we be around that long? Plus, over that amount of time, we've obviously developed quite a bit of expertise. We know what we're doing, right? So the length of time that you've been in your field of expertise or been in business, conferences where you've spoken, or news channels, or any kind of articles or anything written about you, Anything that is a place that you've spoken or been asked to speak or give a talk or been on a panel, any of those things are instant credibility because they're going to put people in those situations that other people look up to and respect the opinion of. So those are instant sort of de facto credibility builders. Any kind of important awards or recognitions that we've gotten, we could share all of those things too. You know, it's funny because in one of the things that I do when I do webinars for my own software products, I show the marketing awards that I've won for product creation and for marketing. And one of the reasons I do that is I recognize that some people that are seeing that webinar don't know me. They've never heard of me. They don't have any idea whether my products and services are good. So by showing them that, they know by third-party association here, hey, this guy's won some awards. He's got to know what he's talking about, right? So that's the credibility. That helps them drop their guard and start to at least be open to listening to the rest of what we say. If we get past all that, then another objection is, I don't believe you, right? So, okay, you've identified the problem. You know what I'm suffering from, right? And I can see that you did some stuff. All right, cool. Like you got some clients and stuff like that. But I don't believe that what you're claiming is, gonna solve my problem or whatever, right? So this is where we get into sort of more of our product. But the mistake that people make here a lot as entrepreneurs, business owners, again, we're in love with our products. So what we do is we go on and on and on and on about the features of the product. Well, it has fast forward and it's got like double rewind and it's got, seek and save and all these other features. People aren't interested in features. People are interested in benefits. So what we need to do is focus on the benefits of our product. Not this is made with acai berry and, ginkgo biloba. It'll make you feel great, think clearly, and lose weight. Plus you'll have extra energy, right? Benefits, not features. Those are the things that we want to really focus on to overcome the I don't believe you. Because when we start to focus on the benefits, then they start to realize, okay, well, wait a minute. All right. Yeah, now I get it. I see now what you're saying in terms of what it's actually going to do for me because you're telling me what those benefits are going to be. So if we get past that point and we've got them to the point where, now they know that like the product potentially has some benefit for them and everything else. Now sort of the brakes go on a little bit for some people about wanting to actually purchase. They get now that they are sort of a target prospect for this, but especially if they're still feeling like they're sold or that they need to make a decision, then another one objection that people have is, okay, that's all great and this sounds great. Let me think about it, right? I don't need it right now is basically what they're saying. And the very common objection for that is, let me think about it. What that basically means is, okay, there's some benefit here, but I don't see enough to make me jump and go get it right now. And so this is where, as entrepreneurs, as marketers, as business owners, as product owners and sellers, we want to inject some scarcity, right? So I don't need it right now. So we can, first of all, we can go back to that whole pain thing and get them back into that feeling about the pain. Anything about that is going to make them feel like they want the solution. But the other thing we can do is we can inject scarcity into it. Well, just so you understand, this particular widget is only going to be available for another 3 days, right? At this price. Or this particular offer only lasts through the holidays and then it goes back to the regular price. Because we're in this trial period, whatever it is, scarcity. Now it needs to be real. You aren't allowed to just fake scarcity. But what you can do is give people an extra bonus or give them something special or a discount or whatever. And as long as it's legitimate, you can inject scarcity that puts a time frame on it. So it makes people make a decision. People want to defer decisions. They don't want to make them right now. And if you allow them to do that and think about it, once they're out of the heat of the moment, the odds that most of those people are ever going to come back and buy are far lower. So that's that objection and how to overcome that. The fifth one is, it won't work for me. Okay, I recognize that you have a product, you understand my problem, you have credibility here, and you have some benefits that would work for other people, but I don't believe it'll work for me. So this is where we throw in testimonials and case studies. We want to get a customer avatar, right? So every particular kind of customer we've got, we want to be able to create a testimonial or case study for each one. So no matter what this particular avatar is in terms of the prospect we're talking to, we solve their problem. For example, if I have a product that's going to generate traffic, it's going to make sales, and it's going to save you money, I want one testimonial for how it saved somebody money. I want one testimonial for how they made sales with it. And I want one testimonial or case study for how it generated traffic. When you put those in there and you show people, hey, this person is just like you and they got results, that's how they're going to be able to recognize that, okay, this does work for people other than you because you're selling it. And it does work for people like me because they had the same issue I had, or same desire for the benefit I had, and they got that benefit out of it. The sixth one is, what happens if I don't like it? All right, you got me. I'm gonna take the plunge, but I'm thinking to myself, what happens if I don't like it? I don't know if I want to spend the money because I'm a little bit nervous about it. What if everything you said is BS, or what if I just don't like it? This is where we throw in a guarantee. The guarantee is the easiest way to overcome this objection. If you can give people a reasonable guarantee to reverse the risk and tell them, hey, listen, this is a zero risk situation. You either get the benefit or you don't pay. That's really powerful. It's risk reversal. I'll take all the risk. I believe in my product. I believe in my service. So when you buy it now, I'm going to give you this 30-day money-back guarantee. If you aren't happy for any reason, just give me the product back or whatever. We'll disable your access and I'll give you your money back. That eliminates that barrier of people worrying about that. And then the last one is, I can't afford it. You know, what most people mean, and in some cases they really can't afford it, but what most people mean when they say I can't afford it is, the value you're giving me isn't worth what you're asking in price. I could spend this money on other things that are more valuable to me. So in this particular case, what we can do is, again, we can build up the value, we can throw in bonuses and all these other things, but we can also offer a discount or maybe a payment plan. Right? If something is expensive, then maybe we offer a payment plan where it goes over multiple payments, and that can allow people to be able to access it right now, get the benefits right now, but pay over time. So those are the 7 main objections and how to overcome them. And if we can resolve those, particularly in advance, before we get to the negotiation side of it, we eliminate the resistance to buying and we increase our sales. So the takeaway here is, as entrepreneurs and business owners, we want to maximize our sales and profits. We believe in our products and services, but our excitement and enthusiasm alone are not always enough to make the sale. Our prospects aren't as bought in as we are. It's not their company. And they often have objections to buying because they want to be sure they're getting an actual benefit or solution to the problem that they have. Most objections fall into 7 main categories. So if we think about those in advance, we can build solutions for them into our marketing and make our ads, pitches, and campaigns as effective as possible.